Welcome back, everyone, to the HNL Movement podcast. We have a very exciting episode, as I mentioned, and I would like to welcome Dr. Raj Anand to the podcast. He has so much experience that we're going to talk about, a lot of great things that he's done over his lifespan in his career, and he's still continuing to do a lot of great things. So, thank you so much for joining me today, Dr. Raj Anand.
You're welcome. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Yeah, so let's dive into, every guest, I always say there's not enough time to go over all the things that we want to talk about. So we don't want to waste any time, but let's start with your story because you have an interesting backstory. Even prior to being a doctor and going into cardiology, you have so many experiences that a lot of us can't even imagine of, experiencing or going through. So talk about that a little bit growing up and some of your story and how this led into what you pursued as your career.
Sure. I was born in India, and at that time, I was 11 years of age when it got divided into India and Pakistan. And then there was a Holocaust of Hindus in Pakistan. And me and my family happened to live there at that time. And we survived two attempts meant to kill us. But then successfully we arrived in India under the protection of Indian military that was sent to a camp to bring us. Then I was educated in India from 7th grade onward. I did my graduate degree and then postgraduate degree in medicine in India from King George Medical College. And after that, finishing my residency over there, I got married, and me and my wife came to US in 1963. Mm-hmm. And over here, I finished my 3 years of residency and then got a scholarship to go to Harvard and finish my fellowship training at Brigham and Women's Hospital and then at Mass General Hospital. And after that, the UMass Medical School opened up in Worcester, Massachusetts. So I came here. And I was professor here for 41 years. I also wrote a medical textbook on how to read EKGs. I am an inventor, invented thermoelectric angioplasty catheter with global patent and US patent. And after 41 years of enjoying my profession, though very stressful, but I enjoyed it, I retired in 2013, but I have been active. I was called back to give lectures several times, and I gave lectures. The last one, I believe, was in 2016. And then I get invitations locally from different places to give lectures to the non-medical people, and I do that also. And my wife's desire was, and before I go to that, I may mention that I wrote a book on my experiences of what I went through that Holocaust. And those who are interested for historical purposes, it's a small book, 43 pages, is now stored at the Library of Congress in Washington and also national libraries of Canada, England, France, Germany, Italy, Switzerland, Austria, and Australia, in case anyone is interested. Now, coming back to my retired life over here, I was interested during the last many years of my medical school career, where I was director of CCU and director of non-invasive cardiovascular laboratories and director of the cardiovascular research laboratories. I was the first one to start ultrasound of the heart in Massachusetts. And I was the first one to start stress testing in central Massachusetts. And with those credentials, I was very much interested in healthy diet. So my wife's wish was that I write a book on it. And unfortunately, 2 years ago, she died. And I wanted to fulfill her wish. So I completed this book. And this book is now available at Amazon.com. And all the proceeds of the book go directly to Dana-Farber Cancer Institute in Boston in the loving memory of my wife. So I encourage people to buy this book. And I can guarantee you everybody will find something worth reading.
Yes, I'm very sorry to hear about your wife, and we are going to touch on the book a lot. There's a lot of great things. We'll get to that in a little while, but there's so many things that you've accomplished and achieved throughout your successful career.